Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me and G Funky from the Latino World Order on Archive. Man, oh man, make sure you throw a jab at the like button if you're listening on Archive. All right, make sure you do that. You guys slacked it a little bit last show. I'm not gonna lie. So make sure you press the like button and shout out everybody, G Funky, that's listening to us now on Facebook as well, out of the D-Style Boxing page as well.
That's right, man. Make sure you're there. Make sure you jab the like button, man. And shout out to the LWO, man. All of them. Juventud Guerrera, Psychosis, La Parca, and, of course, the man who created it. Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat, man.
There you go, man. Make sure you guys do that for sure. And also shout out to everybody listening to us on the Leave It in the Ring network on demand as well. You can listen to us on all platforms for podcasts, whether it's Block Talk, Stitcher, I mean, you name it, okay? We're on all of them. iTunes, okay? Now, with that said, Chief Funky, we got to go over the polls, bro. Like, I mean, you did. I mean, you know, you got just. I don't want to brag or anything, but I'm going to brag a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? Because Chief Funky got annihilated in the polls. Okay, that's right. You got annihilated in the polls, Chief Funky. I have to say it. Have I said that enough times yet?
No, not enough, man. You can use a few more.
Right. Let's start with a current poll that has nothing to do with anything we've talked about or anything like that. Let's talk about that right now, which is this one, as you guys can see. Make sure you vote on that one right now. If De La Hoya came back, which fight would you rather see? We have Chavez Jr., Felix Tito Trinidad, Sergio Martinez, Miguel Cotto, Conor McGregor. Hey, Chief Funky, who would you pick out of these guys, man, for De La Hoya in a comeback fight? Look at the weights, too.
I think, man, personally, I think the best matchup would probably be Tito again. Not just because he was my favorite fighter back in the day, but because they're, around the same age. So it might be the best, even matchup. But, man, I do like the Sergio Martinez fight, man. I think that'd be a good fight, too. Cotto comes in a close third. Honestly, I don't want to see the McGregor fight because I know he'll just knock him out cold pretty quickly. And I just don't want to see Chavez Jr. in a boxing ring again. So I would never want to see that. But
come on, bro. You don't want to see the snow cone head is what they're telling me right now.
No, absolutely not. And I seen this guy trotting around his house and in high heels and wearing a skirt or something. Like, come on, man. What's with this guy, man?
De La Hoya's doing the same thing, bro.
Wait, but at least De La Hoya can fight, Yeah.
Well, Alejandro Rosito Gonzalez, rest in peace to him, Mexican prospect. They put out the news, WBC did, on Twitter. So shout out to them for that news, by the way. And here it is, man. This is another kind of story. What is your reaction to Katie Taylor taking a pay cut? That was going to be Serrano's to try and make the fight happen. Still no official announcement whether Katie Taylor versus, Serrano's going to happen or not. But good job, Katie Taylor, at 20%. Eddie Hearn, you greedy bastard. None of these women should take a pay cut at 58%. Amanda Serrano should have taken a pay cut to begin with at 0%. And pizza or burger tonight at 22%. And we know Andy Ruiz definitely voted for that. But, Chief Funky, how did you vote on this one here?
I think it's the first time I've seen that one, man. You post a lot of things, man. So if I was to vote, I would probably vote. Well, I'll do it right away as soon as the show's over here. But I'd vote for Eddie Hearn, you greedy bastard. None of these women should take a pay cut.
You're not going to say good job, Katie Taylor?
Nah, man. Nah, but you know what, man? It's the first time I've seen that one because I know you got quite a few up right now.
Right.
Plus, I've been paying attention to the ones that involve me.
Well, here's one. Will Terrence Bud Crawford, who will he be fighting next? Giovanni Santillan, 33%. Manny Pacquiao, 16%. Ugas, 20%. Sean Porter, 9%. and then other 22%. What do you make of that, G Funky? Now, this isn't who we want to see him win, obviously. It's who will he fight? Who do you think more likely for him to fight right out of this list?
Ah, man. Most likely, I'm going to say probably Manny or Santillan, unfortunately. I would like to see him fight Ugas next if I was the promoter, if it was my choice, you know.
Right.
But, yeah, man, it's unfortunate that it looks like he's probably going to fight one of those two guys, Pacquiao, who's getting up there in age, or Santillan, who's just, quite frankly, not that good.
I got to tell you, bro, man, the Manny Pacquiao fight's a good fight. I got to tell you. I think it's a really good fight. I think that'll be a big win for Crawford. I think it's a good win because, yes, he's up there in age, but he just beat Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? Like, good win over Thurman, recent win over Vargas. So you said one more dangerous than Triple G, bro. So you said.
Yeah, I do still believe that, man.
No, but hey, I mean, I didn't put the Spence fight there because we all know we're not getting that fight next.
No, that's not going to happen next. Who knows if that'll even happen, period, man. We still don't even know if Spence is, 100% after the accident. I mean, he hasn't fought since then. So that's kind of a long shot, man.
Absolutely. Well, and it looks like Ugas is not going to be fighting him, so that's that. Now here it is, debated G Funky on Trinidad versus De La Hoya. Who won the fight in your opinion? Check out last week's show, guys. Look at this, G Funky. 3% draw. 3% had it a draw, even they're wrong. Okay. 34% thought Felix Trinidad won. Oscar De La Hoya, 62%. Meaning I won the poll, G Funky. What do you say to that? What's your reaction to that?
That doesn't come as a surprise. I'm not shocked at all. I know that the majority of people think Oscar won the fight. I disagree. I totally disagree, and I'm staying on my square, man. I think Trinidad pulled that one off, man. Close fight though.
I can't agree, man. Like there's no way I can agree to that. And then finally, this poll right here, bro. Who has a better top 5 movie list from our show 2 weeks ago? Right. I also have a single video about that as well. You guys can check out. D-Style Boxing with a Fighter, Creed, Cinderella Man, Rocky, $1 Million Baby with 53%, and Chief Funky had Ali, Hands of Stone, Raging Bull, Rocky as well, and When We Were Kings at 47%. Last I checked, Chief Funky, 53 is higher than 47. Your reaction is what?
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and I think D-Style got lucky this time. But you know what? We both had really good movie list. You could watch all those. These and for those of you that haven't seen a lot of those movies or any of them at all, if you're still off work due to the COVID-19, hey, these are some great movies to sit down and watch. So make sure you screenshot that or write it down or something, man, because there's some great movies there.
Definitely some great movie there. Make sure you guys throw a jab at the damn like button. Stay here. We have a great show for you. Look at this. When No Paul shows up, that show's on. Like, you know what I mean? He just showed up right now. A shout out to him. Rene Box Young on here. How's it going? And we have DJ Mexicano de Tejas. Sontea Media on here as well. Shout out to you. Also a channel member. I appreciate you joining the membership very much there, bro. And, of course, A-Rod on here, as I mentioned, and No Paul. We're going to be talking Saucedo, Fredrickson in a little bit. Okay, and that was a main event on last night's Top Rank card. Lion Ryan, a.k.a. Ryan Garcia. It looks like he's going to be fighting Luke Campbell. Will that fight be happening? We'll talk about that. Berchelt in a mismatch. Probably not his best performance, but he still gets a TKO victory. Will be fighting Valdez next. Will be staying at 135. What's his next move? Andy Ruiz tweets out Only he could beat him. Nobody could beat him. All right? Only he could defeat himself. Interesting. Teofimo Lopez versus Vasyl Lomachenko kind of announced. But I think we all needed some good news. So we're going to talk about that. And, of course, happy Canada Day to those over there in Canada, up north. The real north. Right? Shout out to Canada. And we're going to be talking to Leonard Duran in Olympic Stadium in Montreal at the fight that Montreal got. So shout out to them. Chief Funky, last night, good main event, man. Saucedo comes out, outworks Fredrickson. How did you see that bout, bro?
Well, that was a tricky one for me, man, because, you know, Saucedo, I mean, I seen some improvements from the last time I seen him fight. You know, I like the way that he was throwing his combinations. He was hiding a lot of his power shots, which is something that I really like in fighters. You know, he's throwing these like double jabs, and boom, he'll throw a nice stiff right after that, or he'll, you know, double jab, hook to the body, hook up top. You know, he'll throw these punches that aren't full on power to kind of get the hands in a position. He'll bring something else. I really like when fighters do that. He's mixing it up, body head attack. But, you know, I got to be honest, man. Fredrickson, I don't know, man. To me, it was a very lackluster performance from him. Not to take nothing away from Saucedo, but I wish he would have put up a little bit better fight, man. And this is something that I mentioned before, where I talk about guys being super competitive, you know. I mean, and I feel everybody that's on this level of the sport is competitive, but some people are just more competitive than others, man. And I just think that, to me, it looked like, man, he was just okay with going the distance last night. And you know what? I'm not okay with those kind of performances, man. Like, if I was this dude's trainer, man, I would have been worse than Teddy Atlas was with Michael Moore when he was fighting Holyfield. I mean, I would have been cussing this dude out. I would have threatened to stop the fight. I mean, I don't know how many times this dude would back straight up into the ropes, and then just let this guy run combinations off. I mean, Jesus, like, I don't know, man. Like, I would have tried to light a fire under this kid if I was his trainer. And if I don't get a response, man, I'm gonna be like, you know what, man, you need to show me something this round, or I'm stopping this fight, man. I'm gonna stop it, because you're not fighting, man. Like, you just look like you're trying to go the distance, and that's it. I mean, I only gave him 2 rounds of the fight. And, you know, he did do some good things, man. Like, when he kept the fight at distance, you know, he was throwing that jab off the hip, and he was landing it at times. He was even landing lead right uppercuts. So I don't know, man. I just felt like it was a really bad performance by Fredrickson. I wish he would have fought a little bit harder. This way I could see if Saucedo would have been true to the changes that they had made in training camp. But that's not what we got. And I did see some good things out of him, but I would like to see him fight a few more times, maybe once or twice more, before we talk about throwing him in there with a title holder. But I mean, overall, I thought it was a good performance by him, though. I'll give him a B+, you know, and it's just because, like I said, he wasn't in there with a guy who looked like I don't know. He didn't seem like he wanted to win the fight. What do you think, man? That's just the way I saw it, man.
Well, look, I agree with a lot of what he said. I mean, that was basically the assessment of the fight. You know, early on, Saucedo made it very obvious and apparent, I'm going to put pressure on you. Okay, I'm going to stay right on you. And it's from the opening bell, he made it very, very apparent. And it looked like it was going to be an early night for Saucedo early. The right hand would land in beautifully, and he would follow up with little short hooks. He was working around the guard very well when he had Fredrickson against the ropes. He had most of his success when he had him against the ropes. You know, he was working the body at times as well, around the elbows, you know, around that guard. Very well, Saucedo did. Fredrickson, however, you know, right before the half of that fight, he timed and found the beautiful uppercut and landed the uppercut And I thought to myself, you know what? I think he found something to turn this fight around. Because when the fight's in the middle of the ring, in the center of that ring, and he landed that uppercut, it's setting everything up for him. He's jabbing beautifully on the move, and then he sets up the uppercut. I think that's his meal ticket. You know, then he would try some wide hooks. He was missing the wide hooks, right? You know, not good in my opinion. Okay, when he was missing those wide hooks, should have gone back to some short hooks, some uppercuts. But unfortunately, he decided to, you know, keep going back to the ropes for some reason. And every time he went back to the ropes, he was allowing Saucedo to steal rounds from him over and over again. You know, and the one thing I liked about Saucedo here, every time he got hit, he always made sure to retaliate every single time. And it always got Fredrickson back to the ropes. And that one in the fight, he just out-hustled him. You know, round after round, just out-hustled him. And then, because of the pressure, Fredrickson seemed like he didn't have anything left in the tank the last 2 rounds, and Saucedo just took, you know, ran away with it. I only gave Fredrickson about 2 to 3 rounds in his fight, you know, and I remember calling this fight live, and, you know, some people in the chat saying, stop going to the damn ropes. And he kept going to the ropes, bro. Like over and over again. And it's not just, it wasn't a figment of our imagination. Richardson was telling him the same thing. Go to the damn ropes. Stop going to the damn ropes. But he kept going to the ropes, and it cost him. You know, at the end of the day, you know, it cost him. Shout out to Saucedo, man. I know he got knocked out by Hooker, you know, but here he is on his comeback trail. Regis Prograis tweeted out, hey, Saucedo looks like he improved, and he did, you know. And what is he going to do when he sees a guy going to ropes? He takes advantage of it, so shout out to him. How many times, Funky, do we see a guy practically give the fight away, but the other guy doesn't take advantage of it? You know, Saucedo took advantage of it.
Yeah, he definitely did. And, you know, like I said, man, I really liked the way he was mixing up his combinations, man. I thought his combinations were beautiful last night, man. I really liked the way he was doing that. But, man, it's just disappointing, man, because I think it could have been a much better fight. I'm not saying Fredrickson could have won this fight, but, man, it would have been a lot better if he just decided to just do the things that he does. I mean, take advantage of your reach, your height. I mean, you're 6'1" guy, right? He's a 6'1" at 140 pounds, and you got the longer arms. I mean, come on, man. Like, but I don't know, man. Some guys are just, and you know, I have to agree with what Andre Ward said about that, because I've seen this before in gyms, and I've seen it translate over into real fights where guys, they get away with bad habits in the gym. The coach is not telling them anything, and then they go into a fight and they look like dog shit. And I mean, I just never understood it. I mean, I remember going to events and seeing some of my friends when they would train. We go, you know, we watch them fight, and they just don't look good. You know, they get beat every round, and after the fight's over, we go and we talk to them. They're just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. I just couldn't do this, couldn't do that. I think it's really just bad habits, man. And the coach has got to get on them, man. You can't allow these guys to just be lazy when it comes to training, especially in sparring. You know, you're supposed to be working on the strategy of the fight. I don't know, man. I wish he would have fought a lot harder, just so we could have seen a better fight, and we could have seen if Saucedo, again, if these improvements, if these are something that are going to stick with him, or is he going to go back to his old ways? You know, because he kind of sort of did a little bit in the mid rounds. He started to just kind of come forward, not really move his head much, not trying to block punches as much, which is
sucker for an uppercut.
Yeah, he's getting hit with lead right uppercuts, you know? So, yeah, it's just unfortunate that the kid fought that way. But like you said, he took advantage of it, man. And, hey, that's what you got to do, man. You're not going to fight, then I'm going to fight you, and I'm going to win this fight. So yeah, you know, props to him, man, for doing that.
Absolutely. You guys are tuning into the July 1st edition of Hispanics, Cows, and Panic. Make sure you throw a jab at the like button. Stay here. We have a great show for you. A lot to talk about. Later on, we'll be talking about Teofimo Lopez versus Vasiliy Lomachenko, kind of announced on ESPN. We're going to be talking about that, so stay right here, right? Don't turn the dial. I mean, not the dial. Don't click somewhere else, okay? Like, in other words. But still, the one thing about Saucedo, you brought up, G-Funky, he was getting hit with lead uppercuts, not uppercuts that were set up off the jab, or lead uppercuts. right? Because let me tell you something, man. Fredrickson and that get off me jab he had, that was throwing off the back foot, like that shit wasn't doing anything, right? Like it would pepper him a little bit, but it wasn't stopping Saucedo on his tracks or anything. But the one thing that did stop Saucedo on his track was the uppercuts, right? Now here's the other problem I have. He would land the uppercut, and then Saucedo would hit him back with a hook every time. Like, like I get that you landed, but what are you going to do after you land it? Either get the hell out of there or land another punch before he lands on you, is what I say. All right? Get the hell out of it. Don't let him have success because you're going to discourage him. If you land the uppercut more out of the way, you're going to discourage him. But you're not discouraging him. If he gets hit with an uppercut, then he hits you back with a hook. Then he has you against the ropes and he's working around your guard, landing hooks and straights and all that. You're not discouraging the guy. I would trade the both of them as well. I'll take an uppercut to hit 10 punches. You know what I mean? To put you against the ropes for the next 15 seconds. I'll do it. Why not? Who wouldn't? So, but here's the thing, and to your credit, and what you brought up, Saucedo has to clear that up, man. Because when he's ducking low on the inside and he's coming in, his elbows on tucked in the way they should. He's the kind of separated from both elbows, and he's getting hit with those uppercuts, man. And he's got to fix that because I'm telling you, man, that's a knockout waiting to happen. And not every guy that hits you with it's going to be open, okay, to hit him back. So time to fix that. Any final thoughts on this fight or any of these fighters, you funky?
Oh, no, not too much, man. But you're absolutely right, man. You cannot be getting hit with lead uppercuts. I'm sorry. That is just unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. And I'd be telling him that in his corner. I'm like, yeah, you got the win. You won probably 8-9 rounds out of this fight. But damn it, you can't be getting hit with those kind of punches because any of these other guys, man, at the top of this division, like you said, that's a knockout waiting to happen, man. This kid here, he wasn't putting too much on his shots, so he was able to get away with it here. But that has to be cleared up, man. But offensively, I don't really have a whole lot of criticism. I mean, I felt he did very good. I felt he put good, solid pressure on him. He didn't rush right in head first. He came in behind a jab. He was hooking off the jab. He was throwing straight rights to the body and hooks to the body. I mean, that's textbook Mexican style boxing to me, man. Not this what a lot of people think Mexican style is, just come straight forward, take 10 shots and land 1 or 2, He was setting up the offense off the jab, man, and going to the body. That's textbook Mexican boxing to me, man. But defensively, got to clear that up, man, before you get in the ring with any of these champions.
Absolutely. Shout out to Seen and Unseen. It's a salute D-Style and G-Funky, and salute to the chat. Make sure you guys tell us what you guys think. What do you guys think? You know what I mean? Well, what do you think about Saucedo, where he should go next? I think he's going to be an action fighter, bro. That's the path I see. You know what I mean? If he doesn't clean up those defensive deficiencies, that's where I see him going. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's going to be a short career. You better get your moolah quick. Better get your money.
Yeah, and I mean, if that's what you're going to do, then you should probably look at some footage of guys like Julio Cesar Chavez, who a lot of people don't give him credit for his defense, man, but he was good on the defense, man. He was able to have good head movement on the inside. He was able to catch shots with the gloves. So if you want to be an action fighter, come forward fighter, that's cool and all, man, but you got to be able to stop punches, especially lead uppercuts, man. That's unacceptable.
Absolutely. Speaking of unacceptable, it's not acceptable to watch this video and all the effort me and G-Funk put in, and you don't press the jab or the like button. Make sure you press the like button on Facebook and on YouTube and the whole nine. Okay? Make sure you do that. Berchelt comes out. Let me tell you something about Berchelt, bro. He headlined on Saturday night on Top Rank Boxing against Valens, bro. Well, what you think of that fight, G-Funk?
Did you say Valens? I'm about to break out my guitar, man. Start playing some old Donna for this guy, But you know what, man? That fight stunk, man. Let me tell you, I did not enjoy watching that. I already wasn't up for it because the guy already had 13 losses, or something like that. So I'm just like, you better get this guy out of here in less than 5. He gets him out in 6. Right. So I'll give him a little bit of a pass, on that. But I don't know, man. I don't like when guys don't step on the gas when they got a guy in front of them that's just ripe for the picking, That tells me a little something about Berchelt that I just didn't think was there, So I'm gonna say this, man. As of right now, I'm favoring Valdez, man. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I was thinking it was a 50-50 fight.
No.
But I'm favoring Valdez just a little bit at this point, man.
Stop, G-Funky. Stop, bro. That LWO shirt is playing mind games, bro. What do you mean? Like, because Berchelt can't do it for a couple rounds, all of a sudden you're going to favor Valdez, bro? But Valdez has his bump to fight still. We don't even know how he's going to look in that fight. So maybe you should withhold, your little prediction here. I'm just saying.
Well, as of right now, I was thinking about it like this. It's a 50-50 fight to me. Both guys have certain things that I feel like they could expose on each other. I would favor. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know, man. It's still close to me. It's still close, but I'm favoring Valdez just a little bit, But I still think it's a great fight. Needs to happen, and I hope that Valdez doesn't have a hiccup against his bum, because I really need to see this fight. I really want to see it.
Chief Funky, I don't want you to. You're going to pick Valdez. You're going to stick with Valdez. I don't want to hear, no, you know what? I changed my mind. Valdez took 7 rounds to take this guy out. So, therefore, I'm going to go back. If you're going to pick Valdez, if you're going to go with Valdez all the way. Because I'm telling you right now, man, Berchelt's going to beat the shit out of Valdez. I thought that before this fight. I think that's still after this fight. It's not a 50-50 fight. It's like a 80-20 fight, bro. Okay? Berchelt all day, bro. Okay? You know what? He's coming for 135 too. All right, and I've been hearing a lot of shit being said about Berchelt out there, not G-Funky, which I want to bring up. But before I bring that up, G-Funky, explain yourself, because you're over here talking about Valdez, this guy being 50-50. Ain't nothing 50-50 about this, bro. 50-50 is flipping a coin. 50-50? 50-50? Try 80-20, bro.
That's pretty steep, man. 80-20?
80-20, bro.
Oh, man. I think D-Style been sipping that Berchelt juice a little too hard tonight. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's I thought it was a close fight. If it happens, again, it's a big if. We never know with boxing. But yeah, as of right now, man, I think I'm going to favor Valdez. I really like Valdez. I know a lot of people kind of got off the train. Early on, he was doing some good things, and he had a couple of bad performances, But I really like the kid, man. I think he's very skilled. I think he's quick. I think he can expose some things on Berchelt, man. I'm not gonna explain that right now because the fight hasn't been made yet. I will definitely do a prediction on that, and I will explain myself there. But as of right now, I'm going slightly, just a little bit more towards Valdez right now.
Yeah, Berchelt's gonna beat Valdez. That's so bad. Let me tell you something, bro. They used to ask Valdez about Berchelt, bro. Dude, you could see like the quiver in his lips, bro, when he spoke about fucking Berchelt. Okay, and then Berchelt got in the ring, take a picture with him, right? After Valdez fought, man, Valdez was. I mean, you could just tell, bro. You kind of knew who the fuck was in charge right there, bro. Right? I'm telling you right now, Miguel Berchelt's going to knock out Valdez. I want you guys to scream about it. From all the way to Seattle, okay, all the way to Maine, all the way to Miami, and all the way down to San Diego, every corner of the U.S., and all the way down to Sonora, Mexico, to, Los Mochis, all that. Okay, all the way, shout out to Canada, all the way up there in the true north and all that. Happy Canada Day. I want everybody in North America, everybody in South America, everybody in Europe, bro. Okay, everybody in Asia, everybody in Africa. I want everybody to hear me. Berchelt's going to knock Valdez out. You know what else, G-Funky? You go tell the penguins in Antarctica because they're going to know it too. And they're still around before global warming gets rid of them. But before then.
I was just gonna say that. You know, there's a lot of people out there that don't even think Antarctica exists. But if there is, I'll definitely let them know. But man, it's an interesting fight to me, man. I see it. I see it different than what you see it. But man, that's a good fight, man. That's a hell of a fight, and it needs to happen, man. So Valdez, you better not you better not stumble in your fight, man. I want you to go in there, get this guy out of there nice and cleanly, go wipe him down, clean him up real good. This way we can get that Berchelt fight, man, because that is the fight right there I want to see, man.
Let me tell you something, bro. Mary. First time I see this dude comment, but you know what? This dude knows what the hell he's talking about, bro. Look at this. Berchelt by a massacre. This dude knows his boxing, bro. Okay? Look at Chicano Prophet. Clearly knows his boxing. He's got Berchelt. You know what I mean? Clearly, this dude knows what he's talking about, bro. Ese sí sabe. Ese sí sabe. I'm just saying. All right? But with that said, Chief Funky, let's say he doesn't fight Valdez, which is totally, in boxing, we hype ourselves up for these fights, and they don't even happen. You know what I mean? So let's say boxing beats up the fans like it always does, okay, and doesn't give us anything, right? And the boxing gods will withhold this fight from us. Maybe the boxing gods will bless it with some other fights because it looks like, Berchelt's getting a little big. He can't quite make 130. But before we talk about 135, okay, I've been hearing some dudes out there talking smack on social media about Berchelt being a weight bully. All right. Oh, Berchelt's too big for 130. He's a weight bully, right? Like all this nonsense. Dude makes weight. Okay. The dude is disciplined and he makes the fucking weight. The same thing for Navarrete. Go talk to a dude that can't make the fucking weight. We'll talk to them. Right? How is Berchelt gonna be a bully? Like because you know what? You know why Chief fucking no one else fucking rehydrates. He's the only guy that rehydrates in the whole fucking sport.
That's crazy to say, man. There's a lot of these dudes that do that, man, and it's nothing new. Anybody that says that just clearly hasn't been watching the sport for a while. I mean, geez, we can go back 20 years ago. Like a guy like Arturo Gatti would gain 20 to 25 pounds after a weigh-in. This is nothing new. So, like you said, man, I personally, if I was training a fighter, I wouldn't have them doing things like that. I just feel like it's really unhealthy. But if you can make the weight, you make the weight.
If you can make the weight, you can make the weight. I don't want to hear any fucking crybabies out there, okay? It ain't my fault other dudes can't make the fucking weight. It ain't my fault. Okay, go blame them. They can't make the weight because they're bigger than Berchelt, okay? When Tank Davis is bigger than Berchelt. Okay, people talking about Berchelt being big. Or they're about the same. The one difference, Berchelt he makes weight. Speaking of Tank, speaking of Lomachenko, speaking of Teofimo, how Comey's still out. He got knocked out early, but so will Lomachenko. We'll talk about that later. Okay, but Comey's still out there. Okay, a lot of dudes still out there. Okay, Ryan, your boy. You know what I mean? All that stuff. We're going to talk about that too. But 135, bro. And that's the big 135. Lightweight's the big thing today. But G-Funky, 135 pounds. If Berchelt, it looks like he's going to go to 135. I mean, the 135 division became even hotter now. All right. How does Berchelt fare against those names, G-Funky?
Those are all good fights. And man, if he makes that jump, wow. 135, we'd have to say is probably the hottest and deepest division in boxing right now, man. They got a lot of good young talent down there. And wow. If he makes that move, I think he does well against any of these guys. He's a big, strong, tough guy. So he's got punching power. So he's gonna be trouble for anybody at that weight class, man. When you got that kind of again, you got a good chin, power, you're strong. You got a chance against anybody, man. So I like it, man. But I want to see Valdez first, man. I want to see that one first, if possible. If anything. But if he makes that jump, wow, there's a lot of good fights out there for him.
Hey, you know what, G-Funky? If Valdez wins, it's because he wagering Berchelt. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Okay, but I agree with you. I do want to see that fight. Just like I wanted to see Navarrete against Ray Vargas, bro. And now let's say Navarrete's going to move up. And this is what happens. These guys outgrow a weight class, and then they move up, and we never get fights we want, bro. You know what I mean? Like we got to start getting these fights that we want. And Valdez is a really good opponent for Berchelt before he moves up to 135 too. Okay, it's a skilled fight that's going to bring it, and I think could give him the test needed before it moves up. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think that will probably, if they can, again, if Valdez can get past the guy who he's supposed to fight and Berchelt wins, that's the best way to exit the division, be the name guy and then move on up. I feel like that would be a great move for him, but he's got to get past him first. It's not a guarantee. So he's got to get past him first, but it would be a good move.
Absolutely. And you guys are tuning into July 1st edition of Hispanics Causing Panic. Stay here. We have we're going to talk Ryan against, Ryan Garcia, that is, against Luke Campbell, right? And then, of course, we have some Andy Ruiz stuff we want to talk about. Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, and then, of course, happy Canada Day. The Olympic Stadium Montreal fight of Leonard Duran. We'll briefly talk about that as well. That fight did happen in Canada, so shout out to the Canadians. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook and those watching on YouTube as well. And for those listening on the Leave It in the Ring Network on demand. Get from Podbean to the whole nine, all those places. Check it out. iHeart G-Funk. iHeart, bro. That's, you know what I mean? iHeart Boxing, so we should be on iHeart. You know what I mean? But check it out. Your boy, I'm going to talk about your boy, bro. Right? Maybe we're going to luck out, bro. Or maybe not. I don't know, because you have a little bit of a difference of opinion here, and I want you to tell us about it. You know what I mean? But I saw Eddie Hearn, tweet out that this is a fight to make. Campbell's opponent pulled out for whatever reason. I didn't look up too much into that. But let's say lying Ryan. Maybe he ain't lying. Maybe he's not always lying. Maybe this is planned all along. He said, I can't wait for this fight, he said. He says he loves fighting southpaws. He can't wait, he says. That he's excited about it. Do you believe him? Do you think this fight's going to happen, G-Funky?
Yeah, I actually do think it's going to happen. So we can't call him mentiroso no more, But, this is just my personal thought on it, man. I was really, really looking forward to seeing him against Linares, man. Oh, this kind of breaks my heart, man, because, although Luke Campbell looked good in some spots against Lomachenko, I'm not too thrilled, man. But it is a step up for Garcia. I'm going to say that. This is a step up from what he's been fighting. So, we're going to see some things. We got to see some things. We got to get some questions answered from Garcia. We might get some of them answered here. I don't think we get all of them answered, but I think we might get some of them answered. I think that from what they saw from Linares, they didn't want that smoke, man. I don't think they wanted that smoke. So they went on ahead and found somebody else. And, Luke Campbell, again, good step up. But, man, Linares, I think, man, that would have been – if he was able to go in there and handle a guy like Linares, and, man, that would have been real impressive. But obviously they don't think he's ready for that. So they went ahead and got Luke Campbell. So – I hope he goes in there and does his thing, man, because there's some big fights that could be made with him. And I think he's got the talent. I think he's very skilled. I think he's very dedicated to the sport. We see him training all the time. It might be a little braggadocious at times, the things that he does. But, I like the kid. I'm not ready to jump on the bandwagon yet. But if he does his thing here against Luke Campbell, man, I might be tiptoeing onto that bandwagon, So we'll see how he does, man. But I am disappointed, man. I wanted to see Linares, man. That's what I really wanted to see.
Chicano Prophet says, great step up for Garcia. It's about time to get in there with a decent opponent, tired of his fantasy fights that aren't ever made. He also called out Dillian Dynasty, MMA fighters, a jiu-jitsu artist, to MMA fight. Real quick, Chief Funky, before I destroy your Campbell argument, give us some, maybe we could agree on this one. What are your thoughts on him talking about going to MMA to knock this guy out? Because he doesn't know who he is.
Why? Why would you want to do something like that? Other than money, I don't see any reason why. This does nothing for you at this point. your best option right now is to fight Luke Campbell. I mean, it'll be like I said, it'll be the best opponent he's been in there at this point, and we'll find some things out. But going to MMA, come on, man, give me a break with that.
Look, man. Let me first say about this Dylan Dennis thing. Ryan, just because you don't know who he is, like, doesn't mean you're going to beat. That's not the way it works. Okay, like, just because you have more like people that follow you on social media, it doesn't mean you're going to win. Sometimes I wonder if that's what he thinks. Like, nobody knows who this Dylan Dennis guy is. Look, in MMA, if you don't know how to fight in the ground, you're not going to make it, bro. Okay, period. So unless Ryan Garcia has some jiu-jitsu, or wrestling that I don't know about, okay, he's going to get taken down. I understand that Dylan Dennis cannot box worth the leg. He can strike. I get all that. But he's not going to stand and he's not going to stand there and box Ryan Garcia, guys. He's going to take him down. Right? But he's like, oh, nobody knows who he is. Like, so? Well, they're going to know who he is when he chokes you out. They're going to know then. Right? But I don't even think that's going to happen. I just think that was him putting his name out there. I like the Luke Campbell fight. I'm kind of surprised that you don't like the fight, G Funky.
I think I'm just more disappointed that it wasn't Linares than anything. I mean, Campbell's a decent guy. He's a decent opponent for him. And like I said, it's a step up. But, man, when I was hearing the talks about how after he knocked out Fonseca in the first round, and De La Hoya's like, oh, we already got the Staples Center reserved for July. We want Linares, like, I was like, shit, I'm ready for that one too. Let's get it, and then it doesn't happen,
I just don't think the Linares fight is better than the Campbell fight. I just don't. I don't see it, bro. Like, okay, Linares had a good performance against Lomachenko. Well, so did Campbell. I think Campbell did better against Lomachenko. He didn't get stopped. You know what I mean? I give him a couple rounds. Luke Campbell's a gold medalist, bro. Like Luke Campbell, bro. I'm actually favoring him to beat your boy, bro. I think he might beat Ryan Garcia. He's not going to get knocked out in the first round, bro. It ain't going to happen. He's not going to spark him out. He's not. Campbell's, if he sparks out Campbell, I'll be shocked. This is a way better fight. Linares just got knocked out by Kano, bro. Now, granted, it's just a cheap reason for me to bring up the fact that Morales became a 4-division champ by defeating Cesar Cano. All right, that's what I'm talking about. But that aside, this is a guy that Morales destroyed at 140 like years ago. He just knocked out fucking Linares, bro. I think this is a better fight. You know what? I'm saying it right now. Okay? I think Luke Campbell's going to beat him, bro. With that chin in the air, this dude was clipping Lomachenko, bro. He's going to clip your boy, bro. Ryan Garcia's going to get exposed in this fight.
That's very possible. We see Garcia in some uncomfortable situations in this fight for sure. And that's what I want to see. That's what I always want to see in these prospects when they come up and they start stepping up and they start throwing them in there with some guys that can give them some trouble. I always want to see how they can handle that adversity, Luke Campbell can do some things in there. I just think that there's a reason why they decided to skip out on Linares and go with Campbell, man. I just think so, man. That's just what I think, man. I think style, we always say styles make fights, man. I think that Linares' style will give him a little bit more trouble than Luke Campbell will. I just think that.
Dude.
But Linares has had trouble with his chin. He's had trouble with, cuts in the past. So, I mean, I'm surprised that they ended up taking that fight. I really am. Because, with Garcia's speed, he could cause a cut early that could possibly, stop the fight mid to late rounds. Or he could clip him with something big and he goes down and Linares just decided to say, you know what, I'm done fighting, like he normally does it's in a lot of his fights. But I don't know, man. I think the hand speed, the combinations, I think that would give Garcia some trouble, man. But I could see Campbell doing some things too, man. But I was just more excited for the Linares fight, personally.
Look. And BFTB just said it. Garcia could punch. That's true. Intangible Boxing News says, I like Ryan versus Campbell. It is a great fight. I think Campbell is more skilled, but Ryan's style might work with Campbell fairly well. I think he is longer. Let me tell you something, bro. The jab of Campbell, he is, and I haven't seen Garcia have to box in a fight, bro. I've seen him spark dudes out. Okay, he's going to be dangerous early. But, dude, if he's taking the deep waters, it's going to be a long night for Ryan Garcia. I got Campbell winning this fight. Bro, like Berchelt's going to beat Valdez. Campbell's going to beat Ryan. Okay, I'm going to be 2-0 against you, G-Funky, in predictions.
I don't know about that. I'm going to take Garcia in this one. But I think it's going to be, again, one of those fights that we see some things, man, and that's exactly what I like. I want to see if he is that guy or not. You know, we're going to find out here if he can handle the things that Campbell's going to do to him, man, because he is going to give him some trouble, man. So we'll see, man, but I'm going to roll with the Mentiroso Garcia.
A shout out to 92, cool on here with his membership as well. Shout out to you, bro. Another member, BFTB as well. It says Campbell jab give Ryan some serious issues. It can. Luke is top 8-ish at 135. 92, cool. That's a top 10 fighter, bro. I don't think Ryan has proved himself against that level of opposition, to be honest with you. So I'm not really disagreeing with you whatsoever. All right. And Intangible News, Boxing News says, I think Fortuna beats Sonatas. That's another fight I wanted to talk about. We'll talk about it probably next week, but I do favor Fortuna as well. I think he's going to catch him and hurt him and knock him out, bro. Right now, and shout out to as well Haplotype on here, and he says, Linares is semi-shot. I mean, I don't know if he's shot, but he's semi. I mean, possibly, you know. But he's always had shinny issues and all that.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. The way he fights now and the way he behaves in the ring now that's always been the book on him. Even when he first came out. I mean, the first time I've seen Linares fight was on the undercard of a big pay-per-view when he fought DeMarco. And I mean, those guys were bigging him up. They're talking about how good of a fighter he was, and he was looking damn good early in the fight. Hey, DeMarco came back, cut him up pretty bad, and he ended up winning that fight. So that's nothing new. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I disagree. I don't think he's semi-shot at all. I just think that's just the way Linares has always been.
Well, we will see. Make sure you guys also on Facebook, jab the like button for those watching on Facebook as well. All right. And also here on YouTube, make sure you press that damn like button. Idiots. Sports Talk just said Linares is washed up, bro. He done. Damn. Just like that. You know what I mean? So check it out, bro. How do I start this one, Chief Funky? All right. I'm going to give you a clue. He's always posting videos about how he's working out. And he's not sweating in any of these videos. No sweat. Who do you know that goes to the gym and doesn't sweat at all? No sweat, nothing. I saw a video where he's jumping rope. The camera started rolling, and then he kind of realized it started rolling, and then he started jumping rope, and then they stopped it. What's going on with your boy Andy Ruiz, bro? He tweeted out, nobody could beat me but me. And he's supposedly working out every day, but he looks the same. Like nothing's changed. No sweating in the videos. What's going on?
Yeah, that's disappointing, man, to see that. And you know, he says no one could beat him but him. I think he left out the taco truck, you know, because I think the taco truck beat him up pretty good in his last fight. But you know what, man? I just hope that these videos that he's making, you know, they're just videos to put out there and he's actually doing the work after. I would like to see a lot more serious training videos out of him before I can 100% for sure say that. But you're right. Every time he posts these things where he's running or he's jumping rope or something, you know, he looks, you know, clean as can be, no sweat at all. I mean, it looks like he just walked into the place. And yeah, man, it's disappointing for sure, man. But man, if he could just get his act together, man, I think he's got the skills to do it, man. But he's just gotta, you know, stay away from the taco truck, like I said, man.
You see that when it started? You see the video when it started?
Yeah.
Look at what it says. Andy Ruiz in amazing shape before joining Team Canelo. In amazing shape. If that's amazing shape, man, make a statue of me, shit, if that's amazing shape.
I was just going to say that. You can call me Mr. Universe.
God, what's going on over here, bro? Amazing shape for what? What is this? And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, and a 2. What is this? What is he doing? Like no sweat at all. He's talking to the camera. BFTV, shout out. He says, Andy lost his damn mind. Thank you very much for that super chat, bro. I appreciate it.
I think Ruiz is doing P90X right here, bro. I think that's what's happening here.
Look at this. Look at this. He looks, look, dude. Remember the chemistry he had with Robles on the mitts? Look at this. Just look at this. Is it me or is he off? Look at that. Okay? Like, they don't have any chemistry. The dude holding the mitts, I mean, obviously, they're probably the first workout together, but what's with this? Look at this. Andy Ruiz in amazing shape today, training in Las Vegas. This is amazing shape.
This is not amazing shape, and this is definitely not good timing with the mitt guy. I mean, I'm not too concerned with that. Those type of things can be cleared up pretty quickly. I mean, I have a lot of experience doing mitt work and pad work with guys in the gym. You know, that type of stuff could be cleared up in one session, you know, if you're really putting in the work. But that's the question, you know, is he really putting in the work? Maybe they're trying to, you know, slow him down, not throw so many combinations. I don't know, but it definitely doesn't look as smooth as when he was with his last trainer.
Bad to be with another super chat. I appreciate the support. Since Andy had it all in his hands, then let it fall to his gut. But I'm so disappointed, man. Have you ever heard that song, G Funky? He's got the whole world in his gut. He's got the whole damn world in his gut. He's got an itty bitty baby. He looks pregnant. He's got an itty bitty in his gut. That's Andy Ruiz. All right? What is going on? And he's in amazing shape, says BFTB with another super chat. An amazing circle. If he dates a skinny chick, bro, they're a perfect 10.
He's on that light diet, man. Every time the light turns on, he eats, you know.
Yeah, he is in shape, says 92. You know, he's a circle, that's all. Well, maybe I didn't think about that. It didn't dawn on me what shape. Okay, I guess he is a shape. All right? Dude looks like a big fucking orange or something. What's going on over here, bro? All right, but I don't know, man. I don't know. If dude, like before you start talking about nobody beating you, start talking about your body, okay? Don't talk about anybody else. Talk about your body, okay, first. Okay, beat your appetite, motherfucker, and then come back and talk to me, all right? Beat that first, right? Just saying.
Yeah, he's his own worst enemy, you know? Got to stay away from the junk food, man, when you're training, you know, because I mean, to go back to the song you were singing, as the whole world. I mean, he could have been the guy, you know, if he just took the rematch seriously. But we know what happened there, so I don't know, man. I'm tired of seeing these short little clips. You know, I want to see a good long video of him doing some hard work. Then I'll start to you know, look at it a little bit differently. But as of right now, it just looks like he's just trying to show off, you know. Like these guys at the beginning of every year, you know, oh, this is the year, bro. This is the year I get in shape, you know. And then they take a couple videos the first couple days of the year. They're at the gym working out, and then next thing you know, you don't see shit from them, you know.
Let me tell you something, bro. You know what I never believe? Like I never believe the dudes that take a selfie outside the gym or inside the gym before they even started working out. Like, I never believe them. Like it's just something, and it's like, and that's like, so you're not like, dudes that work out, though, they don't go out of the way to tell people they're working out. And if they are, like, they'll actually, like, you know, at least you're sweating or something, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I put some sweat in, guys. You know what I mean? Or something. Get This Smoke says, Nursery Rhymes roast for Andy Ruiz. Damn. That's right. Impromptu, too. All right. BFTB says, if he trained properly, beats AJ. Let me tell you something. There was moments in that fight where he was getting to AJ, and he looked like a walrus, bro. And he was like, you know, AJ looked a little scary in there. I'm just saying. I mean, I never seen it. I mean, he went defense 100% in that fight, AJ did.
Yes, he did. And to respond to a comment about 92 AKU saying he thinks it was a lucky shot against AJ, that was not a lucky shot, bro. Sorry, but it just wasn't. But like you said, even though the guy was on complete defense mode through the whole second fight, Ruiz still had moments. Still had moments where he's clipping him. So, yeah, if he just took it, I mean, halfway seriously, we might have had something there, but he didn't. And that's his own damn fault. Yeah, no one to blame but himself.
Yeah, BTB said we would have an undisputed champion right now if he had took the rematch seriously. Possibly. Very possible. Jupiter B says, with that super chat, I appreciate the support, bro. He says, I come in bopping to the song. Salute to the Spanish causing panic. Y'all going in on Andy. When was his video? He rather round. He's in great shape, they said. It literally says great shape. So I'm just saying. That's all I'm talking about. Any final thoughts on Andy Ruiz, G-Funky?
My final thoughts on Ruiz is, like, man, I'm tired of the short little clips of you half-assing it, you know, or like my grandparents' generation would say, Mickey Mouse workouts. Okay, let's get out of Disneyland and let's get into some real training videos, man. Show us what you got for real, man. Stop with the BS. All right.
Yo, so like, how does this work? Like, does he like get like let's say the rope, jump rope, and he's like, okay, tell me when you turn it on. Not okay. And then it's turned off. Like, well, what is this? Because so many of them, it's obvious he just started doing it. There's no sweat, nothing. There's that like little awkward second, and then he starts working out. What the fuck is this?
He's got that dude like at where they're making videos like, ready? Here we go. Action.
How about you just work out, do your thing, and tell me team members to just, you know, film it while you're doing it. Why don't you just do that? Everyone else does that, literally. Right? There's boxers, bro, that'll be working out, and like people come in, that, you know, they give them the green light. Yeah, go ahead, bro. You know, you want to film me hitting the mitts, whatever, cool. You know, they don't like, okay, ready, go. Like, it's just, what is this? Let's see some road work, says Mehdi. Absolutely. Yes, Jupiter B, the video was recent. You guys are tuning in to the July 1st edition of Hispanics Causing Panic. And shout out to all the Hispanics over in Canada too, G-Funk.
Yeah, we got a lot of Hispanics up there, man. A lot of Native Americans up there too, man. So shout out to them also.
Absolutely. For sure. All right. Hey, man. G-Funky. Teofimo Lopez versus Vasiliy Lomachenko. I don't know if like ESPN told Top Rank, like, yo, can you like announce something? Like, because everything's becoming, I don't know if you're feeling it. I'm a little like, I'm a diehard boxing fan, so I'll watch any fight. Dude, if I'm walking out of Walmart and two old dudes are duking it out, like, I'm going to watch like a spectator. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, you know what I mean? So I'll watch any boxing, right? But I'm a little fatigued right now. I'm fatigued of these mismatches, you know, with the big names. They're putting the big names in mismatches. They're ironically putting the prospects in a little bit of tougher fights. But and some of the fights are good. Some of them are bad. There's a mix of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But we need that big fight. Like, we're in dire need, bro, of A-level fights. So I don't know if they were under pressure to say something or what, but, you know, they came out and they announced this sort of. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're going to, in September, but in Mexican Independence Day weekend, maybe. And it's just a feeling I got because they weren't, like, telling us, oh, it's on. They kept saying, oh, but I mean, like Teofimo Lopez. This is Teofimo Lopez. I mean, I want to fight with a crowd, but if there's no crowd, okay. But I really want a crowd though, so we may have to postpone it for a crowd. But if that can be made, I'll fight him without the crowd. You know, and he also said they can guarantee me the same money without the crowd, then I'll do it without the crowd. I mean, that's really what it is at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's just that they don't want to take a cut for the gate. Fair enough. Okay. But, you know, hey, fork out that money, Top Rank. Fork out that money, ESPN, because we need a big fight. So Teofimo Lopez, Vasiliy Lomachenko. Chief Funky, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have to agree with what you said, man, because, you know, we know that the sport right now and all sports in general are on life support with COVID-19 running wild, and it's back on the loose again. You know, it's running.
What you gonna do, again, brother? What you gonna do when COVID runs wild on you, G-Funky?
Oh man, I'm hoping that it doesn't, man. I'm trying to avoid that thing like there's no tomorrow, you know. But you know, I'm glad that they decided to announce this fight, or semi-announce it, I guess. It's not official, and again, the thing that really makes me worry, man, is hearing Lopez talk about, you know, this fight deserves to be fought in front of an audience, you know, and it should be on pay-per-view and these kind of things. Like, man, I hope that they don't use that as an excuse to not make the fight happen. You know, I really just hope that they don't. But it's already there. It's already there for them to use it. You know, it's already set up for them to say, you know what? Yeah, we were thinking about it, but you know what? Yeah, it needs a crowd, man. It needs pay-per-view. It needs this. It needs that. Only thing that it needs to fucking happen. All right, that's it. Because I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of the bullshit. Okay, it's been what, since February since we had a big fight. The rematch between Wilder and Fury was the last big fight we had. We're in July now, man. It's been too long, almost 5 months now. We haven't had a big fight, and this fight is going to be another 2 months away. So let's just stop with the excuses, man, and let's get this fight going. I want to see it because I want to see Lomachenko get knocked out. I'm calling it right now. He's getting knocked out by Lopez.
Knocked, early knockout, mid knockout. When is he getting knocked out, Chief Funky?
I think as soon as a clean, flush right hand lands on Lomachenko, he's going to feel it, and that's going to change the fight, man, for sure. I'm not sure when yet, but I think Lopez can do it, man. I think he's got the speed. I think he's got the power. I think he's physically strong enough to handle a guy like Lomachenko. To me, it's mental to me more than anything with Lopez in this fight. If he could just stay calm and stay composed in there with a guy like Lomachenko, because we know he can frustrate guys. I think if he could just stick to the game plan and stay mentally tough in that ring, he can win this fight. To me, there's no doubt about it. But that's a big thing to get over, man. A lot of people can't seem to get a hold of the mental side of sports, man. But that's what separates the goods from the greats, man, of the guys that can battle through those type of things, man. And I think this kid's got the goods, man. I'm going to roll with him, man. I'm picking him by knockout. Mid-rounds, I'm going to say.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Shout out to 704. He's hit, and he's a millionaire. He's done. but A-Rod, what's going on to you, man? Shout out to you. Thank you for your membership. Miguel Mondragon on here as well. Medi says we'll probably getting it to 2021. He doesn't see any big fights happening without the crowd, but I don't care. I want to see like these fights, bro. Okay. Like I need these fights. I'm just telling you right now. Okay, I need I need a big fight, man. Because I don't care if there's no fan, bro. I don't care if there's no fans. Like there's fans at home watching on TV. This isn't the days of, freaking Jack Dempsey where everyone has to travel on a train to go see him fight because there's no other way to see him. No, we have a thing called HD TV. Okay. Like I'll volunteer to be one of those people clapping on the screen if they want me to. You know what I mean? Like you see those G-Funky? I'll be one of those guys doing this if I'll volunteer. Okay, but let's get these fights going.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, do it in Dallas Stadium. They got that big giant screen there. You could put a million people's screens on there, and we could just be like, yeah, get him, and like a normal crowd would be, So, man, just make the fight, man. Like I'm right there with you, man. The stuff we're getting, it's not hitting hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Like a drug addict, like the stuff I'm getting is all right, but I ain't staying high as long. Like I need more of a buzz, man. So I need something soon, man. And this is what I need right here, man. I really want to see this fight because I think Lopez to me is the best guy at 135, man. I think Loma's on his way out. I think he's starting to get old. He's got a lot of miles on those tires, So I think it's starting to show up, man. But this layoff could be doing him some good too, man. It's been a long time since he's been in the ring. So, it's one of those situations where it could hurt him and it could help him too. And, we'll find out if it happens, man. But damn it needs to happen.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys throw a jab at the like button. All right? Make sure you do that. Because G-Funky, what's the most important punch in boxing?
It's the jab, baby. Y'all seen Saucedo use it last night, and that set up everything. He threw hooks to the body, hooks up top. He threw straight right hands to the body, right uppercuts, everything off the jab, man. So use your fucking jab, like Mayweather Sr. would say.
Absolutely. The jab to the like sets up the cross to the subscribe button, and then the uppercut to the bell button. That way you're notified. Okay. Also, only 5%. That's it, dude. Only 5% of live listeners come in through notifications. That means they're not hitting the bell button, you phone. They're not doing that, right? So I need you guys to press that bell button.
Ring that bell, man. That's what it's there for.
Right? So make sure you guys do that. Neutral Natural on here. He says, you guys think Top Rank would put Berchelt versus Valdez as a co-main event of Lomachenko Lopez? I mean, would I like that? Yes. Is Top Rank going to do that?
Bro, have you been watching these fights they've been giving us? That is not Top Rank style at all, man.
You know what?
No way is it happening.
These boxing fans have been very loyal. Let me give them a good, 2-punch fight. We're going to give them Valdez, Berchelt, Lomachenko versus Lopez. There ain't no way, bro. They're going to put that on 2 different dates. I don't like it. You know what I mean? But it ain't going to happen. I'm just telling you that right now. D. Hodges, how's it going? Shout out to you. Maddie says the days of stack cards are over. Long gone. Unless Disney, a.k.a. ESPN, jumps in and says, nah, you're going to give us a stacked card. We're tired of this shit. Top Rank ain't going to do it. Okay? Plus, you don't think smooth mouth fucking silver tongue fucking Bob Barham knows what to tell them? Come on. It's not going to add to the viewers. But we could get them on 2 different dates. We can all make more money. Like, you know what I mean? That's what he's going to tell them. Right? Which is technically true, and it's a problem. All right? That's the problem. Rene Boxyoung says Lopez hurts Loma, but Lopez got to fight smart. I got Lopez winning too, G-Funky. I would love to disagree just so I could win another poll, but I can't. All right?
Yeah, well, you've been lucky lately, man, so maybe you should hit up a casino, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I think Lopez has the speed to catch Loma, and I got to be honest, bro. I just don't think Loma could take that power, right? For all that amateur experience that hasn't prepared him for that power, right? That's just something you can't prepare for, right? Can Lomachenko win? Yes. Will he win? No. Okay? Look, I'm just telling you that right now, right? Not says Spence Porter was the best pay-per-view card in the last 5 years. The last one was Mayweather Canelo. They had Garcia against Lucas in that undercard, right? Or was that the Pacquiao card?
No, that was the Canelo Mayweather undercard. It had Garcia and Matisse. There was another good matchup on that card too. I just can't remember. That was a good card though, for sure.
Yeah. By the way, Rene Boxyoung, he thinks Lopez is a little flat. I don't think Lopez is flat-footed at all. I think, does he plant his feet to land power shots? Yes, but he doesn't have to. I mean, this is a very athletic individual. Like Teofimo Lopez can move around the ring. He can box. I'm telling you right now, this dude is very light on his feet, bro.
Yes. He's got all the tools in the tool bag, man. It's just, I'm telling you, it just really comes down to him being able to stay focused and not let Lomachenko frustrate him, man. If he could just get through that, I think it's a no-brainer for me, man, personally. I really do.
Check out Boxing Dialogue in the chat. How's it going, bro? Good to see you. He says, Loma is going to slap Theo around in his opinion. Why do you D? Now, granted, I'll be honest with you, Funky. If Teofimo Lopez can't catch him, it's going to be a long night for him. You know what I mean? But that's almost obvious. I'm betting on, and I'm banking on that he is going to catch him. And he is going to drop him. And I had a whole good night. Shout out to everybody listening on Archive. Okay, and those listening, on the Leave It in the Ring Network, those listening live on Facebook right now, and hit my like button on Facebook as well. Join my Facebook page, D-Style Boxing. I got 70 members in just a couple of days. I want to thank everybody for their support. All right, I've already talked to G-Funk behind the scenes, so you could put some of his live streams on Facebook as well. All right, so all that good stuff. And anyone else who's interested in also putting their live streams, get in touch with me. And we can work something out. Neutral Naturally Lopez is going to have to make Lomachenko fight off the back foot. Oh, he's going to back him up, bro. There's no doubt about that. Okay, he's going to back him up, but he's going to mix it in, bro. He's going to come in and out, boxing from the outside, come in mid-range, get on the inside on him. Like, Teofimo Lopez is going to mix it up a little bit, okay? Boxing Dialogue disagrees. He thinks Loma's skilled, and I'll tell you, you're not in the minority. You know what I mean? Like most people believe Lomachenko is going to win. But, hey, Miguel Dragon says, I'm not betting it's too close of a call for me. All right? And 92 Aku's laughing at you for some reason, G-Funky. What's going on?
Well, he says he's rolling with Loma because he's an all-time great. And I'm like, all-time great? Like, based on what? Who's he really beat? You know? I mean, I know he came in kind of late.
Gary Russell Jr. He beat Gary.
Gary Russell. I mean, but who was Russell beat really?
He beat Rigo.
Rigo, yeah. I give him the Rigo fight. That's probably the best guy on his resume. Again, a guy had to jump up 2 weight classes. A guy who's just way smaller, but he got the win. We'll give him that.
Yeah, but like it's not like Lomachenko was a big dude for his weight. You know what I mean? Loma fought at that same weight too, but I agree it was bigger, but it was a fight that he outboxed him and he didn't use his size. He wasn't like leaning on him and all that.
No. I'm not saying that it was because of his size that he won. It's because people in Rigo's weight class were ducking the hell out of him and he had to move up, fight a guy like Lomachenko. I'm not saying Loma's not good. I'm not calling him a bum or anything. Right. I think he's very, very skilled. And they call him the Matrix for a reason. I mean, the guy is he's an amazing fighter, but when I think of all-time great, like I need to see more, man. I need to see more on the resume, Look,
I agree with you guys. Rigo was smaller, but look, Loma is smaller now when he's winning fights. He's way smaller than Luke Campbell. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys are smaller, of course. But I think that the win was decisive enough to where we got to give him credit. Like just like I give credit to Spence for the Mike Garcia win. You know what I mean? I'm going to give Loma his credit for that Rigo win. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. Now, does he get 100% credit? Probably not. Maybe like 80% credit, but he gets credit. This is my opinion. The Walters win was good, but I don't know where the hell is fucking
Walters has disappeared off the face of the earth.
You paid off. I'm just kidding, but I don't want to start conspiracy theories. But seriously, where is this dude? Does he want to be a fighter? Like, what's going on?
Man, I have no clue where this guy is. I don't even think he's an active fighter anymore. I don't know, man. I give him credit for the Rigo win because I predicted Rigo to win. I wanted Rigo to win that fight because again, he was being avoided by guys in his weight class, and he dared to be great. He moved up 2 weight classes to fight a guy in Lomachenko. Not an easy fight for anybody, let alone a guy who had to move up 2 weight classes. So
Right.
yeah, he gets full credit for me. I'm not saying it's not a good win, but that's like it for me. You know, like I'm not too impressed with the Russell win. I mean, the Walters win. To me, Walters was nothing but a puncher to me. So I mean, that's an easy win for a guy like Lomachenko to me.
Okay.
I think that's a little bit of a stretch, man. I have to agree with my brother No Paul in the comments, man. I think that's a little bit of a stretch to call him all-time great right now.
Exactly. No, Paul. Like people like calling Canelo an all-time great. Exactly. Don't lower the bar. You know what I mean? I agree. I'm kidding, but Canelo's done more than Lomachenko. There's no doubt about that. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But like, I get what you're saying. You know, look, Lomachenko still has a lot to do, in my opinion. All right. You know, I don't want to put strikes against him or anything like that, but I just think if you're going to call him an all-time great, that's a very, very, very high standard. All right. I'm sorry. 3 good wins just isn't like good enough. It just isn't, you know, and a lot of his wins like are against like, okay, the Linares win, good win, but is that like an all-time great win? No. I mean, we're talking about Linares being a good opponent for a prospect in Garcia, bro. You know,
not to mention Linares dropped him.
Linares dropped him. Linares got knocked out by Cano, who, by the way, G-Funky, I mean, not to bring this up, but it's an important fact. Cano was a guy that, you know, Eric Morales beat to win his 4th world title in the 4th division, bro. Okay, I'm just putting that out there.
He sounded like Theo Ruben now. 4 times.
But this one matters for real, bro. Okay. By the way, what happened to Theo Ruben, bro? You never let him back in the house, bro. He's just like, hey, you're banished.
Hey, man, the virus got bad, bro. So, you know, I had to cut off visitations. You know, we're quarantined over here, man. So, but we'll get him back on, man. Hopefully we get through this thing, man, and he'll be back, you know.
Absolutely. Khan and Crawford. Khan got KO'd, but outboxed him. Well, let me say this about Crawford Khan right away. A lot of people were saying that Khan was going to be outboxing Crawford, and then, like always, Khan was going to get caught and get knocked out, okay? Now, I don't want to pat myself in the back too much because I'm going to break my spine, okay? So without having to pat myself in the back, I was telling everybody Crawford is a better boxer than Khan. Okay? He like I said, even if Khan had a granite chin, Crawford was still going to beat his ass, regardless. Khan's a pattern fighter, okay? And Crawford was going to figure out his pattern, and he figured it out in the 1st round. I thought it was going to take Crawford 3 rounds. In the middle of the 1st round, he figured out Khan, and it was a wrap after that. Okay, and he's the one guy that was beating the shit out of Khan until Khan pretty much quit. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, but let's see. What about this? If Lomachenko can somehow get a Mikey Garcia fight, you know, is that a fight that can help his legacy? Because I know Boxing Dialogue mentioned it's a shame we didn't get that fight. Is that something that can help Lomachenko?
Yes, I do think that would be a good win for him. And it does suck, man, that we didn't get that fight. I wanted the Gamboa fight as well. We didn't get that. So I think that would be another good win. And I just think that I don't want to, again, I know people are going to come out, oh, you're a Loma hater or whatever, just like with the Canelo fans. But yeah. I just want, again, 3 good wins, that's just not enough for me, man. It's not enough to say he's an all-time great. I'm sorry.
Plus, he's only 32, bro. People talking he's going to retire tomorrow or some shit. Yeah, dude, there's a meme out. I haven't heard Teddy say this, so I don't know you know how memes are, right? Like, they'll put a quote, you don't even know. But I believe it. It sounds like something Teddy would say, okay? Let me tell you something. All right. He puts out he says he doesn't think Loma should get in the ring with Lopez because Loma's getting old and he's going to get knocked out late. He's getting too old to be fighting these young champs. What do you make of that?
You said Teddy Atlas said that?
I'm saying I saw a meme that Teddy said this. I haven't heard Teddy say it in fairness, so I just want to be fair about that. I want to be clear about that. But if he said that, what do you make of that?
No, that's BS. He's 32 right now,
Yeah.
and like I mentioned earlier, he's had a long break right now. He probably hasn't had a break like this, and who knows how long. You know, we know how many amateur fights the guy's had in his career, and then he started fighting professionally. You know, later than most guys start their career. So we know he's been pretty active, and I think this layoff could do him some good, could do him some harm. If he is fading, I think he's starting to show some signs of age a little bit. The Luke Campbell fight, he's I mean, maybe Luke Campbell's just better than I thought. I don't know,
Right.
but he did a lot better than I expected him to do in that fight. But I mean, 32 to me, that's like right there, kind of like at the end of a prime for me, So I think he's still kind of there, borderline. I wouldn't say he's out of his prime yet. I wouldn't say he's shot or anything yet. But nah, man, he's got to get in there and fight these dudes, man.
What about this?
No excuses, man.
What? Just because I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. What about a win over Teofimo Lopez? Is that a win? Because it's like the one thing, like there's only one fighter really, okay, that you could say, hey, that win really aged well, and then not really, because who asked Russell fought? Now it's not entirely Russell's fault, but is it Teofimo Lopez win a win that can age well for him?
I think so. I think so for sure. But I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win that fight. So, but if he does pull it off, yeah, it's a big win for him for sure, and it will age well, because I think that even if Lopez loses to Loma, I think he's still got a good career ahead of him, man. I think he's the goods, man. So I think that's going to be one of those fights. If Loma does beat him, Lopez, I think he's going to go on to do good things in his career after that. So that's going to be, if he does beat him, it's going to be one of those wins where we go back and look and say, damn, he did beat Teofimo Lopez, and look what Lopez did after that. He was the man. So
Right.
It's just, I don't know, man. All-time great. I can't say it right now. I just can't say that right now. Sorry. I think he's one of the best. You can say he's one of the best in the sport right now.
Yeah.
But all-time great, that's pushing it for me, man.
Yeah, like if you say one of the all-time greats in amateur boxing, yeah, hands down. You know what I mean? Like, for sure. But, I mean, right now, I don't know, man. And then let's face it, he's in a position where he can literally get any fight he wants. And Lomachenko calls Bob Arum and he says, Bob, I really need these fights with Devin Haney. Guess what's going to happen? All right, we'll go ahead and do that fight. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. So he's not like in that position. Like, there's guys that are trying to get fights and they can't get fights. This guy's the golden goose of the division, meaning, like, guys know they're going to get paid to fight him. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse here. Like, he can fight whoever he wants. Okay, if he beats Teofimo Lopez, that's definitely a big win for him. I don't think he's going to win, like you said. But you know what? He doesn't have to be like, he's lost before, so it's not that he can't overcome a loss. But even if he loses, he could do more things and, beat some other guys and become an all-time great still. But I'm not ready to say that right now. A-Rod says in boxing years you would say he's old. Nah, bro, he ain't that old, bro. Come on. All right? Dude ain't that old, bro. Like, you think he's the only dude that had a lot of amateur fights and all that? No, dude. He hasn't been in a lot. He's dominated most of his fights. It's not like he's shot born at all.
Yeah, what kind of brutal fight has he been in besides the Saucedo fight? I can't think of one.
And even the Saucedo fight, like, he was just like Saucedo, like, roughed him up, but it's not like he came out damaged. He was more like frustrated in that fight, but not really damaged. He didn't come out damaged goods or something. Right. But at the end of the day, his career's not done yet. I don't even know why people are talking all-time great. And can these guys retire and then we can talk about it? Can we do that first?
Right. And we've seen a lot of guys who are considered by most people all-time greats to have big victories, multiple big victories into their early 30s, mid-30s, man. So let's just stop the talk that he's old now and things like that. I think that, he's, to me, he's, I've seen some chinks in the armor against Campbell, which makes me a little more confident in my pick of Lopez, but I don't think he's done. I'm not going to say he's done right now, but I do see a little bit of wear and tear.
Yeah. Lopez is too young, says Medi. Well, I'm telling you, bro, that could be a win that Loma could win. And then if Teofimo goes on to have a great career, that win could age well, So that's why picking, fighting the best benefits you in the long run, because those motherfuckers may win other fights, bro. All right? That's why. Jay Cooley says ain't nobody beating Loma. And when Loma wins, what's the excuse going to be? G Funky? What did it say when Loma boxes circles around Teofimo Lopez if it happens?
Ain't no excuse. If he does that, he just beat him. Flat out.
It doesn't mean we're going to start counting him an all-time great right out the bat either. All right.
Right. We understand that guys like Loma, they're going to have their fans, and that's cool. That's cool. But sometimes you got to bring you guys back down to earth, come down from Mars for a little bit,
Definitely. Those watching on Facebook, press my like button, okay? And those watching on YouTube, do the same thing, okay? Jab the damn like button, okay? And Medi thinks he schools Lopez. He does have the experience factor is real, and he does have that over Lopez. So that's why I'm not ruling him out. But here on Hispanics Causing Panic, we don't do wishy-washy predictions. You know what I mean? We don't do like on the fence, like I don't know, it's too close to call. You know what I mean? I just say it. I'm just telling you right now who's going to win. And I like how the LWO T-shirt kind of goes with the Hispanic Causing Panic logo. It has like a nice little, fade into it type of thing. You know what I mean? Bro, I'm going to make an HCP T-shirt like that one, bro. Look at that. Like the LWO T-shirt.
Yeah, man. I think that would be nice, man. Let's get that going. Let's design that thing.
Absolutely. Right? Who's down with HCP, G-Funk?
Everybody.
Jab my like button. I know what is going on lately. These recent shows have been struggling with the likes, bro. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a horrible boxing cards and people aren't motivated about boxing. But damn, Neutral Naturalist will flow with Lino and Fight of the Year 98 at 21. So age shouldn't just matter. Bro, I'm tired of age being an excuse for guys. And I agree with you, man. All right. Salvador Sanchez was beating Hall of Famers in his 20s, early 20s. Unfortunately, passed away at age 23. Right? Chief Funky, any final thoughts, bro, on this fight?
My final thoughts on this fight is this. I understand Loma's he's built up a reputation and he deserves that, man. The guy's a good fighter, man. He's a hell of a fighter. Don't get me wrong. And he still has a chance to become an all-time great. Not going to say it right now, though. It's too early for me. But as far as that fight goes, I'm sticking with Lopez, man. I think that if Linares can find holes to shoot right hands straight down in the middle and land them on Loma, I think Lopez is fast enough to do the same, man. But I think he hits a lot harder than Linares does, man. I think the power is going to give him some trouble. I think he's big enough, strong enough. I think he's going to be able to take what Loma dishes out. And I think he's just going to beat him, man. That's just what I think, man. And if he loses, hey, I'm not going to make excuses, man. It is what it is. He takes the loss, But I'm still rolling with Lopez, man. I think he's the goods.
So shout out to everyone listening on the Leave It in the Ring Network on demand. Check out the rest of the Leave It in the Ring Network, guys. A lot of great content on there. And you guys are tuning into the July 1st edition of Hispanics Causing Panic. Shout out to everybody watching live on Facebook, everybody watching live on YouTube. Right, more content coming to the D-Style Boxing page. Make sure you join 70 members in a couple of days and growing. So make sure you join that page as well. G-Funky, it is Canada Day. Did you know that?
I didn't know that until you told me.
Absolutely, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's Canada Day, bro. Right? Well, like, these dudes call the day after the name of their country. That's crazy. I think that's the only country I know of that does that. Like, who has like a day named after themselves? You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm wrong, but
it's the first I've heard of something like that.
Absolutely. Lopez will be like Canelo Mayweather, not ready. Could be. Guys should be fighting the best in their mid-20s. Absolutely. Boston says, white Jesus. Diaz just says, so that means Lomo above Bud, 3-division champ, and undisputed. Well, we will see. Chicano Prophet says either fighter should get full credit for the win. Great fight. Look at Chicano Prophet, always like the peacemaker. You know what I mean? He's like bringing his holiness and his prophetedness, okay, out here. So now none of these guys are Canadian, but Leonard from the U.S. and Duran, and all that good stuff. But from what was it, Panama? Damn,
Panama. Yeah,
Panama. I drew a blank there for a second. Mexican dad, by the way, just throwing that out there. You know what I mean? From Arizona, I believe the dad. But hey, Leonard Duran. The fight was at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. That was a big fight, man. Duran, as people know, was a guy in the 70s, was dominating. One of the best, in my opinion, the best lightweight of all time. All right? I think this guy in his peak can beat any lightweight ever. Right? I think the guy was phenomenal. And went up, man, against Sugar Ray Leonard, bro. He made verbally. It's humbling. He made it personal, bro.
Personal.
About Leonard's wife, bro. You know what I mean? You know why? Because he wanted Leonard to like slug it out with him. And you know what? It worked. And you know what? It was a great ass fight because of it. What do you make of that fight, bro? In Canada, bro.
Well, before I get my thoughts on one of the best fights ever and two of the greatest fighters ever, my prayers go out to Roberto Manos de Pierda Duran. He is infected with COVID-19. So, champ, this is a fight, man. This is a real fight you got going on here, man. So I hope you stay strong and I hope you beat this one, man, for sure. But this fight here, man, yeah, this is a hell of a fight, man. And like you said, man, I agree. Duran, I think you put him in there with any lightweight, man, he could beat him. In a lot of people's opinions, he's considered the best lightweight to ever do it. But, moves up in weight and fights a Sugar Ray Leonard and gets the W, man, in a good fight. And like you said, he went in there, made it personal. And, he got Leonard to stand there and trade with him. And he got the better of him that night. Big win for Duran, especially moving up in weight, man. Moving up in weight to get the win, that's huge. So, we know what happened in the in the rematch, but this fight here, man, I recommend anybody go back and watch this fight, man. This is a hell of a fight. I always enjoyed it. This is one of those fights that I got to watch as I got a little bit older because I didn't have it on VHS or anything like that. So, but I would always hear my dad and his friends talk about this fight and how good of a fight it was and how, they were all rooting for Duran, to get the win. And, but yeah, I recommend anybody that hasn't actually sat down and watched this fight, man, got to watch it, man. Good fight, two legends, and champ, man, I hope you get better and I hope you get through this thing, man.
Boxing Dollar says Duran after the final bout was awesome, pushing Leonard aside and telling Wilfredo Benitez to suck his. Man, that's crazy, bro. Look, do you remember Leonard, how happy he looked when the final bell rang? They were like proud of himself because he slugged it out with Roberto Mano de Pedra Duran. Like I fought your fight, bro. And maybe he thought he won. It was a close fight. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you one thing that sticks out about this fight, how great in shape Roberto Duran was, bro. That's probably this fight, probably the best in shape Duran since his heyday lightweight. He was in awesome shape. He knew what he was facing. And if you watch the rematch, notice the difference in the body, right? Now, shout out to Joe Habib. He interviewed Leonard a couple years ago, and you can find the interview on his channel. And Leonard talks about, he says, man, once Duran beat me, he had that big payday, You know, I knew he wasn't going to be as hungry the second time around. You know, he's going to be he was going to be more confident, maybe overconfident. And he wanted that rematch immediately because he knew Duran was not going to come in as focused. I was very honest to Leonard, but it looks like he was right, G Funky. It looks like he was correct. You know, because he did not come in his best shape at all.
Yeah, and you know what? Credit to Ray Leonard, you know, for having a backup plan. You know, but Ray's a guy who's, you know, not to hate on. I don't want to sound like a hater of Ray, but he's always a guy that has taken calculated risks, I should say. This rematch is one of them, and you know, a lot of those guys who were around back then recall Ray Leonard said the only reason why he took the Hagler fight is because he saw Hagler slowing down.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people consider that a possible cherry pick and say, well, if you think a guy's slowing down, now you decide to fight him, you know?
Yeah.
Because that fight was talked about years before it actually happened, you know? But Ray is always a guy that took calculated risks, man. And, you know, they paid off for him most of the time. And it certainly did in the rematch because Duran was not in the same shape. That's for sure.
It was not in the same shape at all, right? Big win for Duran, bro. I mean, imagine if Duran would have retired after this win. Like, believe it or not, I think like people would remember him in a higher regard than even now. As crazy as that sounds. Because no mas wouldn't have happened. Okay. The third fight wouldn't have happened. His knockout against Hearn wouldn't have happened. Now, you know, there's some negatives. There wouldn't have been the Iran Barkley, but other than that, it's, you know, it would have been big for him. This would have been like, how do you think he would be remembered if he would have won this fight then retired?
I mean, a lot of people would remember him as, you know, the greatest lightweight ever, which a lot of people still do to this day. But for the greatest lightweight ever to move up and to beat one of the best welterweight champions ever, you know, man, that puts him up there. You know, that puts him up there. That's a big time win for him, man. And this is one of the wins that I always point to when, you know, I have arguments with some of these newer fans that like to pump up these guys. I mean, I'm talking the Mayweather-Pacquiao fans back when YouTube was still kind of fresh and things like that. You know, like, well, Duran is this, Duran was never this, Duran was like, bro, do you guys realize Duran beat a prime Leonard? Moved up and beat a prime Leonard. Like, like this is a huge win right here, man. Huge win to move up and beat a guy like Leonard, who's obviously naturally bigger, a lot faster with the hand speed. You know, a guy who could move around the ring the other day, but he made him fight his fight, man. So, you know, the strategy paid off. Man.
This is why I give credit to guys when they fight somebody moving up to fight them, because this could happen. Okay? Like, it's not like it's impossible. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, but shout out to Duran. Good win for him. And shout out to both guys, man. This was a great fight. It's a hell of a fight, bro. Like, because on the flip side, for Ray Leonard to stand there and slug it out with Duran, you know what I mean? Like, to throw away his movement, like I'm going to slug it out with you. Like that's crazy, bro. You know?
You know, I think a lot of it, this is my opinion, man. I think a lot of that had to do with, I think Ray was like, you know what? I'm naturally bigger. I should be stronger than this guy. I'm faster than this guy. If I move around the ring like I normally would, he probably wouldn't get a lot of credit. You know, I think that's maybe what he was thinking too. Not only, but I mean, the personal attacks, don't get me wrong, that had something to do with it as well. But I'm just thinking about it like this. I mean, now he went back to his old style in the rematch, and it gave him a lot of problems. Now, again, I think if Duran showed up in this kind of shape and he moved around like that, I mean, I think it's a different fight. I'm not saying it guarantees him a win, but I think it's a different fight for sure. But it does give him a lot more problems. But I just think Ray, I don't know if he might have took him a little lightly or just tried to be a bully in there. So, you know what, I'm going to stand here and trade with this little guy. You know, I don't know, man, but that's just always been a thought of mine. Maybe that's what he did, you know?
Absolutely, man. Man, I'm telling you, this fight is one of my favorite fights. You guys need to check it out. Yeah, it says Manny went through 8 divisions. All right. So some notable Canadians, Canada Day. Now, Lennox Lewis was not born in Canada, by the way, but he represented Canada in the Olympics, bro. You know what I mean? So he had the red, what is it, leaf? You know what I mean? Like, so he went and did his thing. Jimmy McLarnin was from Canada. George Dixon from Canada. Tommy Ryan from Canada. Tommy Burns from Canada as well. He was a heavyweight. I believe that's the guy that Jack Johnson beat for the heavyweight world championship. So Arturo Gatti was from Canada, bro. What do you remember about Arturo Gatti?
They say blood and guts. Is that what they always say when they talk about Arturo Gatti?
I like Gatti.
Yeah, I liked Gatti too. Very entertaining. Always in a good fight. And he doesn't get a lot of credit for having to adjust his style. When he later in his career, he changed things up, went to Buddy McGirt, and McGirt, you seen it right away. Some things changing in Arturo Gatti, especially that first Ward fight. He wasn't fighting like the old Arturo Gatti at first, but he ended up making it a slug fight. But you could see in the next 2 fights that he went back to a little bit more boxing and things like that. And that gave him a little bit of longevity, man, because I was getting a little worried about him for a minute. He was taking some sound beating, especially that beating he took from De La Hoya. Oh, my God. That was a brutal beating. And then took another sound beating from Mayweather, which I think is probably Mayweather's best performance, in my opinion. I mean, he just looked damn good against Gatti that night. But yeah, people got to give Gatti some credit for that, man. He went back to the drawing board and said, you know what? I can't do this brawling thing forever. I'm going to have to change some things up. And he went and got a new coach. And, hey, we got a few more years of Thunder Gotti, So, yeah, shout out to Thunder Gotti, man. Rest in peace.
He did brawl it out in the first fight with Irish Mickey Ward, which is a great fight. I love that fight, by the way. Here's my thing with Gotti. So, I loved watching Gotti fight. When it was a Saturday night and Gotti's going to be fighting on HBO, I was excited, right? I knew I was, it's going to be worth watching, and I enjoyed watching Arturo Gatti fight. A lot of people will say, look, man, sometimes I think some boxing fans can't balance, who the elites are, but still appreciate the guys right below the elites. You know what I mean? So was Gotti, obviously, when he stepped up against Mayweather and De La Hoya, and did he get destroyed? Yes. Okay. But not everybody can be like at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like that's reserved for a few fighters. There's levels to this, as they say, as Roger Mayweather would say, right? There's levels to this. But I could appreciate Gotti for what he was. I really could. And one of the best things I saw from Gotti was there was a show called Pros versus Joes, right? And it was a show on Spike TV where they would put like some jocks or whatever, that would talk crap about athletes, that they could do it better and shit like that. Now, these guys were like 6'1", 6'2", you know what I mean? Like big dudes. Little ass Gotti shows up. Okay. This is when he's retired, by the way. This is after Alfonso Gomez retired his ass. All right. Gotti, bro, he tells these guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you bring your neck brace. And he leaves, bro. Shows it like these guys have headgear and whole nine. I swear they couldn't land the glove on Gotti, bro. Okay? They couldn't land. Like the dude was bobbing and weaving. They were missing. And a pop, he would clock them. They would fall to the mat. I mean, just having his way with them. Like he's like a little dude, bro. And that goes for all you guys out there that think that just because you're big, that you could go in there with a small boxer and fuck with them. You can't do shit. Okay? That tells me a lot about what people know about the sport when they say shit like that. But I enjoyed watching that because think about it. If Gotti did that to these dudes, imagine what elite, like someone like a De La Hoya would have done to them in their prime. You know what I mean? So that shows you that there's levels to this. Even those B-level fighters, you look at, man, they're talented. You know what I mean? And they bring a lot to the table. And a lot of the top fighters today would have been considered B-level, like if you put them in the 80s and shit. Okay? So at the end of the day, man, respect all these fighters and what they bring. Steve Rolls, best Canadian boxers in 92 Aku. And Miguel Dragon wants to remind everybody that Triple G beat the best Canadian fighter today. You got to turn. What are you guys doing, bro? We're supposed to be paying homage. It's Canada Day, bro. And George Chuvalo, he's from Canada too.
I was going to mention him. I thought, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't quite sure if he was, but I thought I remember him being from Canada.
And they have a lot of adopted, guys that are not born in Canada, but they adopt them, and Pascal, for example, and, Yard is from there, right? So, you have a lot of guys out there, bro. Canada brings it, bro. And not to mention Rivals Boxing, bro. The Rival Gloves guy. Russ Sandner.
I know Stevenson lived in Montreal, right? Adonis Stevenson, but isn't he from Haiti, like Haitian descent, right? Or something like that?
A lot of Haitians, but they fight in Canada, bro. Like they're basically Canadian. You know what I mean? They're Canadian citizens through and through. So shout out to them.
Oh, man. Sorry about the noise in the background. My dog is growling. There's people popping off fireworks.
That's interesting. Man, people are so excited about Canada Day over there in Sacramento, bro. You got Canadians over there? What the hell's going on?
Dude, it's been like this all week, man. I moved out here in the what you would call a better neighborhood than what I was in before, and they're still popping off fireworks all night long, like in my old neighborhood, man. I guess people can't wait for Saturday,
Absolutely. Shout out to John Pascal. He got a big upset victory recently. He's been calling out Canelo. I mean, I don't know about that, but he's still out there, bro. Pascal. He had those great fights with Hopkins. Big win over Dawson. You know what I mean? Doing his thing. Stevenson, obviously, of course. And then, of course, I mean, dude, let me tell you something, bro. Okay? What about Better BF, bro? Out there training with George St. Pierre and shit. You know what I mean? Is he teaching them MMA moves? I don't know, but, they're out there training together.
That's interesting.
They're really good friends.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're just doing like workouts to stay in shape or something, but I don't think there's anything that George St. Pierre could teach this guy about boxing. That's for sure.
But you know what? Maybe you could teach him about conditioning. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Having a good workout partner, but I agree with you. I don't know what he's going to teach him about boxing.
Yeah,
George St. Pierre was taught. He was taught some like mid work, and he came out by Freddie Roach. And then he came out. He's like, man, I thought I knew about boxing. I didn't know anything. Like, bro, he was just teaching you how to throw 1-2. Like, what do you mean? Like, what? What's over here?
Hey, Champ Ross in the chat says, hey, we forgot Lucien Boutte.
Lucien Boutte, bro. He did his thing for a while. They raw, bro. What they did to Andrade out there, bro. When he dropped Lucien Boutte and he got up and the dude was counting. He stopped the count midway to tell Andrade to get back to his corner. Come on, bro. Okay? but since it's Canada Day, he knocked him out in the rematch. So it's all good. You know what I mean? Yep. But he gave him the rematch. You know what I mean? He settled the score then and the controversy then. Lucien Boutte did his thing for a while. Didn't join the Super 6, but we're not going to bash Canadians today, bro. It's Canada Day.
Hey, you know what? Since it's Canada Day and I have the Latino World Order shirt on, D-Style and I are both pro wrestling fans. Let's give a shout out to Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, man. And his brother Owen Hart, rest in peace also.
Absolutely. Shout out to Bret the Hitman Hart, right? That's the best fighter, even though it's a fake sport. I don't care. To come out of Canada, bro. Because he's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. all that good stuff. All right. But with that said, Chief Funky, man, oh man, one last thing, because I forgot about this. And I remembered midway through the show, but they found them, bro. Adrian Gonzalez has been found. And it's going to be, he got his rematch with Robeisy Ramirez. Was the first fight a fluke? How do you think it's going to go, bro? The fight's next week. So I think tomorrow, isn't it tomorrow?
Might be, huh? It might be on the undercard of the Pedraza.
I don't have a fact checker no more. This sucks, but it's okay.
I
think it is.
If it is, hey, I got plenty of ice cold beer, and I'm gonna be watching that one, man, because everybody out here that's been watching this channel and has been subscribed to me for a while knows I love guys that give rematches, man. And this is one that had to happen, man. I love it. So, hey, we found the guy. Guess what? I hope he gets his money, man, because I think he's gonna get knocked the hell out. And I hope he gets his money. I hope he gets paid for this one. He's going to be on national TV again. But Robeisy Ramirez is going to knock this dude smooth out tomorrow. I'm calling it right now, man.
Bro, I don't want to pat I've been patting myself so much in the back from the beginning, with polls and then reminding everybody about Morales. And who did he beat again, G Funky? For the fourth title? Who did he beat?
Cano.
He beat Cano, right? Who knocked out
Linares.
There you go. I'm just putting that out there. Just let's let you guys know that's a win that's aged well, baby. But all bullshit aside, shout out to Steve Nash and great basketball player too, by the way.
The rated R superstar Edge, Edge and Christian, one of the best tag teams.
What about Steve Nash, bro? No love for Steve Nash.
I love Steve Nash.
Was he one of those guys that was whooping on Sacramento a lot too, or what?
No, we used to kick his ass when he was with the Mavericks. But no, but you know what? I love Steve Nash, man. I think that first season he had with Phoenix, that was an unbelievable season, man. He shot 50% from the field, 90% from the line, and 40% from three, averaged a double-double. I mean, that was like a Magic Johnson season, man. He had a great season that year.
Yeah, there was a year where he definitely deserved the MVP, but he won it more than once, right?
I think he won it back-to-back, yeah.
I don't know if he deserved it, like one of those. I think Kobe was kind of.
There's a year in Kobe. Well, I don't want to make too much NBA talk, but there was a year back when Kobe. I felt like he should have won the MVP, but I think Tim Duncan won it that year. But man, Kobe had a great stat line that year. But it is what it is, man. Oh yeah, Chris Jericho too.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. A lot of pro wrestling, bro. You know what I mean? I guess, and all the hockey play. I don't know anything about hockey though, but I know Canadians love their hockey. So shout out to hockey. You know what I mean?
There you go.
But hey, I think a Canadian hockey player beat up an MMA dude in a boxing fight, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. But it was 2006, says Miguel Mondragon. Lakers versus Suns 2010 was there for Game 6. Oh wow, nice.
Wow.
Adrian Gonzalez immediately after he won said this was no fluke. I knew I was going to win. Okay. Big things coming for me. If he wins this fight, bro, one, what does that do for Adrian? Because they can't hide him now. You can't hide him after beating Robeisy Ramirez twice. But if he wins a second time and Robeisy, give me a two-part question. What does this mean for Adrian Gonzalez? And what does this mean, bro, for Robeisy Ramirez? He's taking a risk doing this rematch.
Man. I mean, as much as I would like to see something like that happen, because, upsets, they just excite me, when they happen. Especially, I think this will be a huge upset. I mean, the first time, I honestly thought Ramirez won that first time. He wasn't the best performance, that's for sure. He didn't look great, but I felt he still just should have got the win. But, hey, props to Gonzalez for getting the win. And you know what? Credit for him getting back in there, because he could be like, you know what? Nah, I ain't never getting back in there again. I beat this guy. I beat the gold medalist, a 2-time gold medalist from Cuba, things like that. But he's getting back in there. And but you know what, man? I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be close. I think Ramirez is gonna come out and spark this dude, man, quickly. That's what I think, man. I don't think he has much of a shot, man. But I hope he gets his money, man, for sure, because he deserves it. He got the win over him. You know, he deserves to get paid. They want me, is what he's saying. They want me, you know? So you got to pay the man. So I hope he gets his money tomorrow, man.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys throw a jab of my like button. Make sure the like button does turn blue. This was the July 1st edition of Hispanics Causing Panic. And I agree with you, G Funky. I hope and that it's a good fight, first of all. And regardless of what happens, I hope the right guy gets his decision. That's number one. Okay? So I'm just saying, if it's a close fight, I just hope Aiden Gonzalez realizes he's not going to get a trilogy. No, you know. It ain't going to happen, bro. So you got to, this is it, dude. I hope that the time you've been away, you've been training, you've been ready. Because, hey, anytime you pull an upset like this, everybody calls it a fluke. You know what I mean? Got to do it again. So, hey, go out there, prove it wasn't a fluke. And even if you lose, go out there, man. Go balls to the wall, put on a great show. Give it Robesa Ramirez a good fight so you keep getting calls and keep getting your fights and keep getting your money, your moolah, either way. So shout out to Aiden Gonzalez. We're going to see how that goes. Man, G Funky, this has been a great show. Give us some final thoughts to everybody listening on Facebook, on YouTube, and on all the Leave It in the Ring on demand. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Final thoughts are, I hope that we get something soon. Like you said, man, I need better fights, you know. Right. Now that you told me about this Ramirez-Gonzalez rematch, it's got me a little bit pumped for tomorrow, man. I want to see it. I want to see how they both handle it. But, hey, you know what, man? If you're going live, hey, I'll join you for that one. I want to do that one with you, man, if you don't mind.
You guys got to join us, bro, for that fight. It's gonna be a good
yes, fight. Make sure you guys are there, man, because we're getting that re-smoke. You know, that smoke's coming back. You know, and they called him out. They said, you know what, you beat me the first time, man. Now we need this guy back in there. So,
not to cut you off, but that's why I said not to pat myself in the, bro. Honest to God, I could be wrong. We're the only ones that talked about this. We're the only ones that were talking about Aiden Gonzalez and where the hell is he and why is nobody fighting him?
Right.
You see anybody else talk about it?
Nope. And that's why we're the Hispanics causing panic. You know what I'm saying? We keep an eye out on these things. You know what I'm saying? But that's got me a little excited, man. But I hope that the Lopez and Loma fight gets made. Now I'm starting to get even more pumped for it because I see the Loma guys coming out. You know what I'm saying? They're coming out to defend Lomachenko, which it's all good. You know what I'm saying? If you're a fan of Loma, hey, it's all good, man. No sweat. As long as he goes in there and gets a clean W, if he gets outboxed or gets knocked down a couple of times and they still give him the decision, then you'll see me bitch and moan. But if he just gets the win and there's no controversy or something like that, then Loma gets full credit, man. No doubt about it. I'm gonna make no excuses. But make sure, I know that there's a holiday coming up, man. I know some of you guys go a little overboard with the fireworks and stuff like that, so make sure that you stay safe because we want you guys to come back here Wednesday, man, and join us again for some more boxing talk, man. So make sure that you be responsible this Saturday and doing what you're doing, man. But I appreciate you guys all coming. Make sure you hit the like button. Thanks for the support, man. D-Style puts in a lot of work for these shows, man. So, thank you guys for coming and doing the super chats. And we'll see you tomorrow night, man. We're going to be calling that fight. Make sure you're there.
This is D-Style Boxing. What do we say, G Funky?
Keep it boxing.
Keep it boxing. We're out.